Good morning, everyone. This is Anne Marie with Spy Video. I actually did this video a while ago and then formatted it and realized that my mic was sitting above my head, so it sounds like I'm speaking to you in a cave. I thought I would do it again so that you could avoid that incident. So let's go very, very quickly. Here's what we're looking at. The VWAP is flat. When the VWAP, or the moving averages that we're sitting around, is relatively flat, it means there is the absence of momentum. When there is the absence of momentum, we will cycle through and go up and down within range. We are still range bound. The wide angle of that range would be the base of the gap, 1479. Many times the midpoint of a range is something that we need to watch. Those of us that work together at the trading room, we call that the 50% rule, and we watch that very, very carefully. If you haven't done that, I'd advise you take a look at it. It's an extremely useful thing to do. All right, that being said, where we are is sitting underneath the VWAP and underneath this 100% retracement event here. Something else going on, we've got ourselves a little bit of an S-curve test. This is a failure of the S-curve. This is a big decision zone. What we need to do, in my mind, is not touch this chart until after it's either lost the 145.42 or breached and a candlestick close above 145.98. In between there, you're going to have to be very, very cautious. Trade on a very small time frame and expect that once you get into a level that it will reverse. If you are expecting a trending event here, or you're saying to yourself, hey, listen, I'm going to get in early on the game, I think that's a fool's errand. But some of us like to trade like that. We're too impatient. We don't want to wait, and we think to ourselves, hey, listen, I'm willing to take the heat. What usually happens is, we get blown out and we lose a lot more than we really wanted to. So avoid the pain of that, right? Why not consider something different in your approach? Just a suggestion. In any case, here's what we're going to do. We look at the ES, we trade the futures in here. We don't necessarily trade SPY, but I think SPY is a good thing to give folks an overall view of the market because a lot of people are afraid of the futures market. Here's what we need to look at. Above 145.91 will be a clear beginning to the re-entry to this gap. So we have a gap above and we have a gap below. Very noisy, choppy market. And the pre-markets today are ridiculously flat. Even though we have had some range, I have looked at the SPY. It's got incredibly small volume, less than 1,000 shares traded, and it is almost 7 o'clock. So that's really a lot lower than we normally see pre-market, or that I'm used to seeing pre-market. So definitely flat lulling action. What we'd like to see, what's really nice, is if we have a tight range like this through the course of the pre-markets, when we open up, we have a tendency to expand the range. Now we'll still be trading level to level because we could expand the range all the way to here and then fail, or we could expand the range all the way to here and then bounce. Both elements are definitely something that we can look at. So how do we trade something like this when we see that there's an even scale that allows us to have just as much upside as downside? Well, the short answer is we don't. But if you want to get involved in this choppy space, you're going to watch for those higher highs and higher lows on the candlesticks. Realize there's a lot of congestion here. Remember, good trades are not lonely trades. That means a lot of other people are taking them with you. I understand the concept of a crowded trade, but this is not one of them. We're not hyperextended in any form or fashion. So, if we're not hyperextended in any form or fashion, and we know that a good trade needs to be a crowded trade, we need to wait until lots of trading strategies are telling us the same thing. See, I'm trading one strategy, somebody else is trading another strategy, and so on and so forth. But guess what? A lot of times, all good strategies have a tendency to converge once in a while on the same point. And so all these good strategies are going to converge on places like this and places like this. So let's wait for them to do that, shall we? And if we wait for them to do that, what we're going to end up having is a much greater chance of getting a trade that will have momentum forcing it to a space. If you're looking from a swing perspective, we're in a no-fly zone. All right? We've got to get out of this wide trading range that's going to tell us whether we're going to break out or not. And the longer we sit sideways like this, the bigger the move to the upside or the downside. All right? Pay attention. We're in a space where we could do either or. So many times the best thing to do is sit on your hands. Good luck trading today.